Hi everybody, this will be a video to show you how to create a visual representation for the set of data that you have for your ASL. So again, remember you can work on this with somebody else. Once you have decided which assignment you're going to be looking at, you're going to look at the student, you're going to look at the assessment, you're going to look at the student's responses, and you're going to need to create a visual representation of the whole class, how they responded. I think most of the work samples have 10 student responses. Some of them may have a few less than that. So I'm going to go with there's 10 people in my group or in my class, but remember that you need to show all of the people in your group, whichever work sample that you decide to go with. All right, so I'm recommending that you use the metachart.com to help you. However, you don't have to. So you can use whatever tool that you like. If you're an expert with Excel, go for that. We're going to be doing a bar chart, and because we're going to be having different learning targets and different groups of students, we want to go with the multiple bar chart is what I would recommend. So that's what I'm going to pick. So on this section, this is just to customize your chart, how you want it to look. That's fine. The way that I have it here is fine, but if you want to design it different, that's fine. You don't have to set up an account for this. You'll be able to enter your data and download it, but you can obviously if you want. Okay, so when you go to, so that's the design part. Now I'm going to enter the data. So this is after you've already looked through your student work and decided is what level are my students. You're going to want to group them into, are the students proficient in the specific learning target? Are they advanced in the learning target, or are they still developing, or is there zero evidence of the learning target being there? So the groups here, these are the number of learning targets that the assessment is addressing. So that's going to depend upon the assessment that you selected. I'm going to pretend that there are 3 learning targets targeted for my assessment. And then for the group names, you're going to put a name of the learning target. Right now, I'm just going to put LT1, LT2, and LT3, but you need to have a specific name that represents what the learning target was. The number of items is how many proficiency levels that you want to have, and you can have developing, proficient, advanced, or you can have 4 levels if you prefer, or it might depend on the assessment tool that you're using, the rubric that you're using. So if there's a rubric provided, if you're using a rubric to assess the student work, you want to, for example, for the number of groups, you'd probably use however many criteria are on the rubric. And for the number of items, you're going to use the same number of proficiency levels that are on the rubric that you're using. So I'm just going to keep it simple for this example and just use 3 proficiency levels. So the names of your proficiency levels are going to go here, and we'll say accomplished or advanced, proficient, and developing. And here you're going to say for learning target 1, how many of the students in my class were accomplished on learning target 1. And again, this would be like, let's say it was add numbers within 10. How many kids got all of those correct? So let's say learning target 1, I have 6 students that got it correct. 2 students that were proficient, and 2 students that were developing. Let's say for learning target 2, let's say I had more students that were proficient on that, and nobody was developing. And let's say for learning target 3, I only had 3 students here, and actually quite a few students that were still developing. So you have to have already graded the student work samples, then you come over here and do this. Next, so I put in some of the labels for my data, but now I have to, label the chart itself. So you're going to want to have a title for your graph, make the title meaningful. I don't, this being just an example, I don't have that. Your y-axis is going to be the number of students in your class. So we'll put number of students here. That's the title of that axis. And everything else should be good. So let's see what happens. Oops. I did something wrong. Let's see here. Enter your data. Oh, I forgot to put something here. Okay, so here I have to put 0 because there has to be a number in each part. Good. Glad I made that mistake. Okay, now I can display my data. Now, the reason that we're doing this, it helps you as a teacher to see things visually. It's really easy to see that it looks like, target number 2, whatever that was, my students really have that, and I could just kind of check in with these 2 students and provide them with remediation if need be. Maybe they just sort of messed up for the summative assessment, or maybe they need a little extra help. For this target number 1, it's pretty good, but I still have a good portion of my class that's not accomplished per se, so I definitely want to reteach these kids who are still developing. Maybe check in with these guys. And then learning target 3, that one apparently fell off and I would need to figure out how to reteach this one. So in creating the visualization of our data, that makes it easier for us to talk about, okay, what did I learn from it and how am I going to use this to go forward in my teaching? So next you're going to download this so that you can include it in your ASL assignment. You can download it as a JPEG or a PDF. I think JPEG is easiest. Then you can just plop it right into your document, no problem. You can also export it right here too. So whichever one. And that's about it. And then it'll be on your in your downloads. Okay, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. Hope that was helpful.